Moral and immoral decisions. In the book Lord of the Flies, we are introduced very quickly about moral and immoral choices with our stranded boys. One of these boys tended to make the most immoral decisions on the island, and this boy is Jack Meridew. Jack is one of the older boys on the island, and we learn in the book that he tends to become very jealous and feel partial peer pressure as an older child. He wants to be well liked and tends to earn the attention through fear and a powerful rule. I say Jack Meridew may make the most immoral decisions throughout the book, but his actions can be seen justified by the environment they are in, feeling peer pressure to his age, and the need to be well liked. In society, we tend to have rules to follow and keep things in proper place and order. These rules that are made for us are set by adults to help us participate well in our society and be a model citizen. But without these rules, we tend to make actions that can be seen as savage-wise and animal-like. We learn right away that the boys are stranded on an island due to a plane crash, which leaves society's rules behind them. Jack's character is the first one to realize this, and his state of mind was the first one to go when he kills the pig and receives no consequence afterwards. In the book, we see Jack's character become very aware of the environment right away, but he loses his sensibility when the book points out knowledge that they had outwitted a living thing, imposed their will on it, taken away its life like a satisfying drink. This information explains that Jack forgets that there are consequences or rewards with every action made in normal society setting, but with the environment of no rules. No consequences are shown for their actions. We also can see that Jack becomes very carefree and enjoys himself in the environment, but loses his slip by having the author write his fate by having Golding repeatedly use the boys gathered in a circle to illustrate the very nature of collective changes from security and stability to exclusion and violence. For a young child in an environment that has no rules can show the escape of realism by losing knowledge of what is right and wrong. Even though environment is a huge factor why Jack's actions can be helped and justified, we must also understand that peer pressure is a factor due to the age of Jack. The next part to take into consideration in this book is the ages of the boys. The author wrote separating the boys into two groups, little uns and big uns. Jack is a big un and happens to be one of the oldest, like Ralph and Piggy. Now today, people who are older are the ones that the younger generation look up to. Younger people tend to look for them for words of advice, wisdom, leadership, and guidance. Even though Jack originally wasn't chosen as chief of the boys, he was still chosen a leader for the group of hunters. But Jack's decisions must be taken into consideration because he is a young child with no experience as an adult or a leader. Peer pressure is shown in the book, especially when it comes to the characters Ralph and Jack, who were looked up to because of provided guidance. One provided guidance, and the other one provided meat. When the little ones talked about their fear of a beast, Jack is looked to due to the fact that he is the leader of the hunters and has killed a living thing before. He volunteers himself to go up to the mountain and hunt for the beast at night when he is already tired and fears the beast himself. The peer pressure is evident by showing fake confidence when the boys are going up to the mountain by saying, "I'm going up to the mountain to look for the beast now." Even when all the boys were tired and scared, Jack felt the peer pressure of taking up on going to look for a beast at night. With peer pressure in the book, we must also think about how Jack had the eager need to be well-liked from the boys. Third and final point to take into consideration is how Jack was desperate to gain attention and be well-liked in the group of boys. When it comes to kids, being well-liked and popularity sometimes is a priority to certain kids. Popularity can drive kids to desperate needs and wants when it comes to attention and being well-liked. We can see right away in the first meeting that Jack is a boy who wants to become chief, but when everybody votes and decides that Ralph becomes chief, Jack becomes jealous when even the choir applauded, and the freckles on Jack's face disappeared under a blush of mortification. We see that being well-liked and wanting to be chief was important to him, which made his demanding nature to shine through when he starts to grow in popularity. This is also seen when he first makes his appearance with Sean. As leader of the choir, he is condescending, shouting orders, and demanding obedience from the boys. And Jack eventually rises to domination as a result to his priority to hunt and kill animals for food. This shows that Jack is wanting to be popular by the leader and goes to his head once he receives the attention of one. So in conclusion, with coming from an environment with no rules or consequences, to feeling peer pressure due to age, and the need for attention and being well liked, Jack Merridew was bound to make the most immoral decisions, but they were justified.